who must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sire, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sire.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia.
Robbie, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Flu Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Garland Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Easy, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so go into 20, but put it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks, and welcome to another beautiful day that the Lord has made. And it's often said that we must rejoice and be glad as we go to bed and wake up the next morning. So, folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and following us. We like to welcome you to the Tuesday, May 5, 2026 edition of the program from the Print News, brought to you by Crime Stopper Liberia, Exodus Best Price Tool, and our one and only Mayuba and Sons Incorporated. My name is Wendell Nimne, and next to me is Esther Daku. Esther, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning to all of you out there. And good morning to Aliyu. It's good to be here this Tuesday where we all can talk about what's on the paper.
Aliyu Masaleh from Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Nimlen. Good morning, Esther. And good morning, Mama Labiro. Adi Masale, glad to be here this morning, man. Whew.
Bobby, you're sounding like you're hungry.
It's good to have you.
Good morning.
Oh
I'm just tired. You know, the other assignment from Monday to Friday, bringing children to school is a full-time job by itself.
It's impossible.
And you are resting a few days. You are celebrating. Oh, you can sleep now. The children are ready for you now.
It's impossible for the to be hungry in the morning when he's married. So
is it married
Madam,
people? Is it
Madam
married people?
Madam will fix something in the morning. So
suppose Madam fixing the thing and you eat it, yeah, and you'll be hungry. Well, folks, just kidding of our brother. And so, folks, we are here again to run you through those trending stories from the print media. In our studio, we have the hard copies of the Daily Observer and Front Page Africa newspaper. So, with 12 minutes into show time, no time to waste. Let's begin with the stories. Top stories first from the Front Page Africa. It says, we have fits UNP's building chief, warns UP undermining rule of law and eroding democracy. Very, very interesting story. Let's take Crime Watch. It says, friendship turns violent. Man nearly killed in Dwazon night attack over US $10. And lastly, for top stories, expanding political outreach, Ambassador Kimaya and Latte family, that's the Latte, identified with CDC Ball chapter, donate generator, rice, and cheers. Very, very good news. But let's take this story, a few lines from there. Let's see, where is that story? Let's make our way to that story and take few lines. Let's see where it is. I'm trying to get few lines. Yes, I'm there. Okay, it says former President George M. Weah has recounted a long list of excesses by the Boacat-led administration, which he says has undermined the rule of law, threatened peace and security, and eroded democracy in Liberia. In release issued by the office of ex-President Weah, the former Liberian leader made these remarks on Monday while hosting the chair of the United Nations Peacebuilding Commission, Ms. Nicola Clays, at his office in Painesville. During the meeting, Mr. Weah cited the government's blatant disregard for Supreme Court rulings and what he described as executive overreach on matters involving different branches of government, including the illegal removal of Speaker Fonati Kofa. He also informed the UN delegation about politically driven arrests and prosecutions of former officials of his administration, the removal of tenure officials, police brutality against ordinary citizens, and a general disregard for fundamental rights, all of which, he said, pose a serious threat to peace and security. The former president further recounted a dangerous incident in 2024 when aircraft when the aircraft he was traveling on was handling denied landing permission at the international airport while already in Liberian airspace, describing it as a threat to his life and the life of his entourage on board. He stated that the UN and its various organs, as well as other regional and continental bodies, are vested guarantors of Liberia's peace and security. He called on the international community to consider these transgressions as early warnings of an erosion of their progress that a country has made in peace, security, and democracy. For her part, Ms. Classy, accompanied by Liberia's special representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Louis Brown, and her mission was to engage with a wide range of national stakeholders to assess Liberia's peace and nation building process, as well as social cohesion and national reconciliation. And we see in this photograph former Dean of the Cabinet, Max Okimia, current Senator of Magiri County, Nathaniel McGill, the current head of the United Nations ambassador, that's the representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Louis Brown, the head of the United Nations peace building. We also see former President George Manawia, all photograph here. But because of time, folks, we'll leave it there and take more stories. Let's run to more stories here. It says PUL sounds alarm on press freedom violations as Liberia's marks World Press Freedom Day in Kakata. PUL would not waver. Let's take few lines from there, just few lines from that story. Because those of you who are watching us, don't forget to let us know where you are watching us from. Your comment is very much important. Let's move on. The president of the Press Union of Liberia, Julius Kanaba, has warned that democratic process and national development remains at risk without full respect for free expression and journalist rights. delivering the State of Press Freedom address at the observance of 2026 World Press Freedom Day on Monday in Kakata City, Magibi County. Mr. Kanuba described press freedom as the singular and most consequential of all freedoms, stressing that without it, other liberties cannot thrive. He paid tribute to journalists who died between May 2025 and May 2026 and acknowledged those currently battling illness, describing their loss as a significant blow to Liberia's media landscape. Mr. Kanuba disclosed that Liberia recorded multiple press freedom violations over the past year, including threats, incarceration, that's including threats, harassment, assaults, and legal actions against journalists. He cited incidents involving Liberia National Police and judicial authorities where journalists were allegedly intimidated, detained, or assaulted in connection with their work, while noting that some cases were resolved through the PUL interventions. He stressed that such violations continue to undermine media independence. Well, let's leave it there and take one more story from the front page Africa newspaper, and then we'll send controls to Esther. Barking dogs remarks sparks political firestorm as Bishop Brown urges Bwaka to clarify who are the dogs. We, group people call it we. Who are the ways? All right. So the bishop is calling on the president to make some clarity on this assertion made by him. Who is he referring to as dogs? Omen Bwaka, if you are listening, Bishop Brown, your Allah is calling on you to let the public know who are you referring to as dogs. Who are the dogs that are barking when you go in places? They can be barking. So the bishop say you need to tell the Liberian people you got to be clear about it. All right. But let's move on and take a few lines from there. It says rising political tensions in Liberia have taken a sharp turn following controversy remarks by President Joseph Nima Bwaka, with senior clergy calling for calm, clarity, and more responsible national discourse. The latest wave of reaction stems from a parable delivered by President Bwaka during the dedication of the Ministry of Local Government in Monrovia on April 20. In his remarks, the president said, if you are going somewhere and dogs are barking at you, if you stop to throw stones at every dog, you will not reach your destination. Why some interpreted the statement as a call for focus and made criticism. Others, particularly opposition figures and critics, view it as derogatory, suggesting that the president likened Liberians or his critics to barking dogs. The fallout has since triggered a barrage of insults between supporters of the ruling Unity Party and loyalists of former President George Manuel and his coalition for democratic change, with both sides trading jabs using the same language. Bishop Brown calls for clarification. Amid the growing uproar, Bishop Cotto K. Brown, former head of the Liberia Council of Churches, has urged President Bwaka to clarify his statement, warning that the controversy could deepen political divisions ahead of the 2029 elections. Speaking to Front Page Africa on Sunday, Bishop Brown acknowledged the president may not have intended harm, but stressed that the weight of presidential words requires careful communication. What the president says carries significant weight. From the reactions we are seeing, many people feel offended. It is only honorable that he clarifies what he meant, Bishop Brown said. He cautioned that the current tone of political exchanges could foreshadow a more toxic environment in the years ahead if not properly managed. Border disputes raises national concern. Beyond the controversy, Bishop Brown also expressed concerns over the prolonged presence of Guinean soldiers on customs officers in the Solomba town, Foya district, Lofa County, an issue that has tear unease among citizens. He called on the government to provide consistent updates and engage the public more constructively, noting that while diplomatic efforts are commendable, silence or dismissive responses could heighten public anxiety. We are dealing with a national issue. Government should speak more responsibly and avoid attacking those who differing views, he said, adding that diplomacy should not be mistaken for weakness. Intolerance in governance. Bishop Brown also weighed in on the recent decision by the House of Representatives to expel and battle lawmaker Yeke Koluba following controversy comments about the border dispute comments now being challenged before the Supreme Court. He described both for Koluba's remark and the legislature response as reflective of growing intolerance within Liberia's political space. Esther, I think we'll stop here and then send controls to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have the Daily Observer right before us, and the top story here says CSOs urge Waka to pause carbon policy, warns of risks to communities, national sovereignty. Bishten got this story. Let's run there quickly and bring you some lines. It says a coalition of more than 25 civil society organizations have called on President Joseph Nema Boakai to delay endorsement of Liberia's draft carbon market policy, warning that the current process risks entrenching governance gaps, undermining community rights, and weakening public trust in one of the country's most consequential climate framework. In a formal communication signed by Michelle Brown, Senior, national facilitator of the NGO Coalition of Liberia, and endorsed by his leadership, the group appealed for a genuine, inclusive, and credible national validation process before the policy is finalized. At the center of the dispute is not only the content of the draft policy, but the process by which it has been developed. The coalition acknowledged the efforts of key institutions, including the Environmental Protection Agency, the Carbon Market Authority, and the Forestry Development Authority. Advancing Liberia's climate agenda, however, it urged that the validation process was significantly turned truncated, particularly in terms of stakeholder participation. This policy is not a routine administrative recruitment or instrument. The coalition stated it is a foundational framework that will determine how Liberia's forest lands and carbon assets are governed, monetized, and potentially committed under long-term agreements. That framing reflects a deeper concern once adopted, the policy is expected to guide future legislation on carbon trading and border climate governance. Many any flaws at this stage could become embedded in law for decades. But let's leave it there and look up more stories this morning on this Daily Observer. We have LTA proceeding wrongly on TIA contract, says Senator Quay. And then we have communities elated over reported oil recovery as government fires samples out for testing. Communities elated over reported oil discovery as government fires samples out for testing. And we have Aja Puches back on proposal to amend CAC law. This is also on the front page. Let's run it to the back page. We have,
There's a story there.
where is it?
There's a story. Okay, this issue. So you care to read from few lines from there. It's very
Okay,
important.
we
And
have, this is the LTA proceeding wrongly on TIA contract, says Senator Quay. Page 9 has the story. Let's run to page 9 quickly.
Senator Quay is senator from Bond County.
Right.
Mm.
And we're about to give you details. This is page 9. It says Senator Johnny Quay of Bond County has said that the Liberia Telecommunication Authority is proceeding wrongly in dealing with the contract with the Telecom International Alliance. The best way out, he said, is to carry out an amendment. I think they need to be told about what they are trying to do, he told reporters last week. It can be recalled that the Liberian government, through the LTA, signed an agreement with TIA for all telephone call traffic monitoring services. However, the government suspended the agreement for alleged irregularities. However, a joint committee of the national legislature, at the close of weeks of public hearing involving government officials and civil society actors, preferred that the contract should be renegotiated instead of de-ratification. The committee disagreed with the decision of the government. Besides, TIA denied the claims and its subsequent request to the legislature to de-ratify the contract, while the committee said such action amounts to dispute. For example, the TI agreement with LTA contains a dispute settlement clause at 21.2 that binds all parties to the contract, along with the provision for a remedy for matters arising from public procurement processes by the public procurement laws of Liberia. It says the government seems determined to terminate the contract outside of all legal requirements and is reportedly mulling signing an agreement with Nomtel Liberia Incorporated, a company registered and incorporated by one James Saki. Record in possession of this paper shows that Nomtel Liberia Incorporated was registered and incorporated in June 2024 to engage in education and consultancy, innovation, ICT services, software development, maintenance, and construction, general telecommunication services, and related activities. It is to engage in telecommunication and information communication, technology services activities, to collaborate with academic institutions for the purpose of establishing terms and conditions under which Vision Dream Tech will provide computer education to schools, among many other programs and activities. But let's leave you there. And we have Aja pushes back on proposal to amend the CAC law. Page 3 is where their story is. Let's run there quickly.
These are all trending news in the country.
Right? We have page 3 right here. Let's go there quickly. Okay, we are here. And we have Aja pushes back. Let's read you some lines. A growing chaos of media stakeholders is pushing back against efforts to amend the country's landmark press freedom legislation, warning that the move could reverse hard-won democratic gains and reintroduce a climate of fear in public discourse. A proposal at the legislature to amend the Kamara Abdullah Kamara Press Freedom Act, a law widely credited in dismantling decades old legal barriers, that once criminalized speech and curtailed press freedom in the country, has since sparked a fierce debate among stakeholders. The leaders group to voice its opposition to the proposed amendment is the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, speaking on behalf of the group at the World Press Freedom Day commemoration organized by the Press Union of Liberia in Kakata on May 4, 2026. Veteran journalist Peter Masakwe delivered a firm rejection of the proposed changes, describing them as a troubling step backward. For Ajar, the issue goes beyond a single amendment. It is about preserving philosophical foundation of the Cock Act. This landmark legislation remains a cornerstone of Liberia's democratic process. Masakwe Aja External Relations Committee Chair said any attempt to weaken or roll back these protections undermines the significant gains made in advancing press freedom, transparency, and accountability. The group urges that reopening the law to introduce new criminal provisions, even for seemingly legitimate concerns like online abuse, risks eroding the very protections the law was designed to guarantee. Agile concern reflects a broader fear within media cycles that incre- incremental changes could gradually reintroduce criminal liability for speech, effectively reversing the 2019 reform. Such action, Massaquoi warned, risks creating an environment in which journalists and media practitioners may once again operate on a fear. The amendment introduced by Nima County District 2 Representative Yam G. Flomo seek to criminalize gender-based online abuse and harassment in response to the rising tide of digital hostility, particularly targeting women. Supporters of the proposal argued that the country's legal framework has not kept pace with the realities of the digital age. While Liberia has made commendable strides in protecting press freedom, a gap remains in protecting the dignity of our citizens. Flomo has urged, emphasizing that the measures is intended to set limits where speech becomes harmful. But for critics, including Aja, the method, not the intent, is a problem. A warning against legal contradictions. Among the most influential voices opposing the amendment is Peter Kwekwe, former president of the Press Union of Liberia. Kwekwe argues that introducing criminal sanctions into a law specifically designed to decriminalize speech creates a dangerous legal contradiction. The philosophy behind the Cock Act is simple, quickly noted. Disputes arising from speech, especially criticism of public officials, should be addressed through civil remedies rather than criminal prosecution. He warns that vague definitions of offensive or abusive speech could open the door to selective enforcement, particularly in Liberia's politically charged environment. When boldly defined, criminalizing online insults could easily be misused to suppress legitimate criticism, he cautioned. But let's leave you there. We have to look at the back page of this paper. Let's see the back. We have Connect Academy empowers Orange Liberia workforce with strategic skills. Garnet Academy empowers Orange Liberia workforce with strategic skills. And then we have down here, Grand Crew lacks prison facility over 40 years. This government is constructing one. And that's so far, I think these are all of the stories and lesson controls to you.
Thank you, there, Esther. As usual, thank you very much for that eloquent reading. Folks, it's 22 minutes pushing up to midday. And if you're just joining us, you are welcome to the program from the pre news. This is a regular feature on this radio, comes your way every weekday from Monday straight up to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And this program is brought to you by Crimes Topper Liberia. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Old Road Smart Road Junction, and Mayuba and Sons Incorporated. So let's recap for you. Those stories were brought to you this morning, and then we catch up with our break and come back and join our team of panelists there in the US of A. All right, this morning we started with the front page Africa newspaper, and it says here the top stories we have Fitz, UNP's building chief, warns UP undermining rule of law and eroding democracy, and friendship turns violent, man nearly killed in Dwazon night attack over 10 US dollars. And lastly, for top stories, expanding political outreach, Ambassador Kimaya and Latte family. That's the Kimia and Latte identify with CDC Bong chapter, donate generator, rice, and tears. And more stories to cover on the front page. PUL sounds alarm on press freedom violations as Liberia marks World Press Freedom Day in Kakata. PUL will not waver. So says the president of the Press Union of Liberia, Julius Kanuma. And lastly, Barking Dogs remarks sparks political firestorm as Bishop Brown urges Bwaka to clarify who are the dogs. And that does it for Front Page Africa Daily Observer. COS urged Bwaka to pause carbon policy, warn of risks to communities and national sovereignty. LTA proceeding wrongly on TIA contract, says Senator Pehi. That's Johnny Pehi. And most stories on the front page, communities elated over reported oil discovery as government files samples out for testing. And lastly, Aja pushes back on proposal to amend the Kamara law. The back page of the Observer newspaper, Gonet Academy powers orange Liberia workforce with strategic skills. And then lastly, my own county, Grand Crew lack prison facility for over 40 years. This government is constructing one. All right, that does it for the dailies. Let's now take our break. I'll take word from our sponsor and we'll come back. We'll run you to our USA partners. So we're catching up with our break to be right back. The program is from the Print News on Freedom FM 87.9. So I'm trying to catch up with our break and then we'll come back. Hey, watch out for our talking points.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia, peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia.
Rabbi, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh no, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever location jumping till the break of dawn. Exodus Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exodus Best Price Store on Gully Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
Easy, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so going to 20 pop. Put in to Ichiki. Villa living sense in hot.
And this morning, before we leave the shores of Liberia, we want to say a big thank you to uh, a well meaningful Liberian, a proud son of this country, and a resident of the borough of Newcretown, Samuel Wia. Mr. Samuel Wia of the Lagoon community. We want to say thank you. Yesterday, Samuel Wia made a donation of 15 gallons of fuel to Freedom Communications Incorporated. I want to say a big thank you to you, Samuel Wia, for reaching out, taking in your personal resources to invest or to make that donation to us. We want to say thank you, and we are forever grateful. All right, so let's send controls to Aliyu, and we see Gus. So, guys, let's hear from you from all of the stories we brought you this morning.
Go ahead, Leo.
Yes, good morning, guys. Yes, thanks for the story. You see, the bishop is asking who President Baka is calling dog. I think let him just put his Bible down for 5 minutes and go on social media. He will see all the dogs that Baka talk about. They are there biking. Saying yesterday, those dogs, since Sunday, those dogs started biking. They are all on social media biking. And let him turn his radio on 12 o'clock. He will see the real German Shepherds. They are coming to bike again. So if you don't know who the president was referring to, let him go on social media or turn on a radio by 12. He will see all those dogs. They are biking here and there. So Bishop, just put your
There's
Bible
different,
down.
there's
Are you
different,
Just put
different
your
kind of dogs. The
different kind
bulldog,
of dogs. The bulldog, the
the
German
shepherd.
Shepherd, and that kind of the KK dogs. They are all there biking. So Bishop, just put your Bible down for 5 minutes. You'll see those dogs. They are all over the place. Who like the dogs are whoop. Who, who like the
Who
dogs?
let the
We are like all the dogs. We are out now. And this issue here of, you see, during the former administration, the Unity Party was running all around. There is no respect for rule of law in the country, all because of the removal of Cabinet Janet. That's why the Unity Party ran. We asked them to be corrected. I don't know what were some of those things that were done that they really campaign on their respect for rule of law. We know, for me, like I say, I stand to be corrected. I know it was because of Cabinet Janet at that time. But today, where are we when we talk about the day respect for the rule of law? We saw what happened when it comes to tenure position. God can remove people from tenure position, something that he was not to do. And today, instead of reinstating those people, he preferred to pay them off. That's another misuse of our country resources. Where yesterday they say, oh, Joy, we are misusing the country resources. How you call that? You take people from any position and they told you you had to reinstate them. But you prefer to use millions of dollars that could impact the lives of our people. Today, the issue about the former speaker, Mr. Kofa. And the list go on. There are so many disrespect for the rule of law you are carrying on in the country. George, we are was just one, your own, they are countless. See what happened. Yeke Koluba, see what is happening. You continue to undermine the peace and stability of our country. And this is not what you were elected for. Those things that you criticized yesterday, you condemn, are things that you continue to do. This is not good for our democracy. You people talking about war press and freedom day. If you people know you have war press and freedom day, you take your gadgets and go local country now. You go to give your update. Then we know that really you people have war press and freedom day in Liberia. Now today, anybody talking about local country issue, they are going after you. Today, one response journalist is on the run. You see, so these are some of the things that this government talked about yesterday and today they are doing the contrary. You know, it is not really good for us to see this kind of thing happening under a rescue government. Like I just listened to President Weah, they go on Sunday, like Kings FM, where they were, the guy who owned the building at that time. Later on, the guy, when he went on the other side, he went to him in his bedroom. He said, "Oh, I need my building because I'm no longer supporting you again." And we are saying, "Okay, no problem. You can have your place." And when he became president, they see guy who asked him out of his building because he was no longer supporting him. He was able to bring that guy in the government, and he helping a lot. Who does that? And this issue that you're backing up on social media, I think it is anything bad that we are saying. He praised President Boakai. And you people should be proud of President Boakai that he was sensible enough that somebody that you took to be your enemy when you couldn't afford your own emergency situation to handle it as a vice president. And he came to your rescue. So this is something that you should be proud of President Boakai that he's very smart and he's sensible enough. But this whole hate about George Weah started when George Weah talked about the money he helped President Boakai doing his mother-in-law death. This is where the whole grudge came from today. It can't stop. But what is happening in our country when it comes to the day respect of rule of law, we expect to see this thing. And this is something that brings pride and dignity to any country, the way you uphold your constitution, your rule of law. This is what bring investors. When they see this thing happening in the country, they say, "Oh, this place is safe for investment. We can take our money there." Which one of the investors will take their billions of dollars to a country where there is no respect for rule of law and the constitution? What guarantee you have to take your money there? And this is why all the job breaker promised the Liberian people today, no job, no company coming. You see, so and when you say some of these things, people want to insult you. People say you hate the government. Liberia is all we have. My hate for Baka cannot do nothing. And why will it benefit me or profit me to hate a government? We only want the right thing to be done. Liberia is all we have. But today there is no respect for rule of law in the country. Even some of other whole the people, I mean, you shouldn't see about coming here. Oh, you see what the government do. Even to people that here, see journalists today, they cannot speak. You speak, they going after you. Why all these things are for? I don't think this is the type of government we want to have in our country today. You see? So for me, I got nothing much to say. Guys, you can take it from there.
Your own body not turn into old man. You can go from one end to the other and come back. You wrap around powerful kind and everything. Your money all discuss come up. Um, I don't even understand the newspapers and Liberian people as a whole. There's a lot of other issues I've noticed. I told you guys I've tried to participate in some issues in Punjima district and the country as a whole. And that's just one area, and I've seen so many issues. That's the problem we have. We talk about rules of laws and all that other stuff, but the people, the basic needs of the people are lacking. I swear to God, I don't know why the journalists and all those people aren't making any move to highlight some of these things. But it's also on the opposition, right? Um, in Bunjama district alone, there is probably 80% of schools that were de-roofed over year and a half ago. That almost 2 years. Ministry of Education cannot roof those buildings. And then I'm sure you go to other counties, it's the same situation. They have budgets that they pass. All these things are reaching the people. So where's the PUL and all these people? The only thing they know how to talk about is all these Kamara law and this and that and that. I mean, you know what? The people will respect you when you hold their feet to the fire. But when you don't hold their feet to the fire, you just sit there. What do you think they're gonna do? Look, there's a reason why Liberian government after governments have continued to manipulate the people. This is why each station has to support the government for them to be able to stay afloat. Or else they struggle with getting the necessary monies and whatnot to be able to run their stations. Because again, we don't run things like business. That's my biggest problem in Liberia. Everything we do is too much friendship, it's too much this, it's too much. Look, no. The truth is, sustainability only happens when you run things like they're supposed to. If you are a news organization, you are calling yourself journalists, you need to talk about the stories. You need to go out there and find the stories. Regardless of what the situation may be, if you bring those stories out, guess what? Government or all these entities that are affected by these stories will have to now be able to work with you to get to the bottom of some of these things. But what we continue to see is we have this same notion for years after years where we just rely on institutions. We
Okay,
rely
I'm
on.
quite sure.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, can you hear me? Sorry, I'm driving, so you know how that goes. If I probably fell off. Yeah, so everything we do, PUL is never going to be respected if they are not doing their job like they should, if they're not truly holding the government to their fire. The citizens will always be treated as second class if they're not highlighting their issues. Like I said, in probably Morovia, you even go to Morovia, you look at the schools, they're deplorable. You have children, 3 or 4 classes in one room. What are we talking about? And these people say they came to rescue. How are you rescuing? How is it any different? How is it even better than what it was? I mean, that's where some of my problem is coming from in Liberia. And I'll be honest with you, is draining. We've been doing this for too long. You know, we've been on this air for, oh, I mean, Jesus, 2009. I started doing this with Radio LIB. And here we are today, 2026. The issue still remains. We're still talking about the same issues. I mean, my children have was born. They're out of college. Oh, I mean, come on, people. What we gonna do now? So I'm tired with the Liberia problem, man. I don't know. On the president issue, the former president. I mean, I'm glad he's talking a little bit because I think some of those things have to be highlighted that happened in the past. Um, to to um, to let people know what he has done and all the issues that are on the ground that he remains a constant in our society that have looked out for the ordinary Liberian people. And we all know what happened in the first election. And hopefully the second one, he's going to do better in being able to surround himself with some of the people that will do the work instead of just saying, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, because some of those people were just there for their own self greed or what they could get from it. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, thanks for the show. And as always, Gus Corner.
Thank you very much, Gus. And let's say a big thank you also to Leo Masale. Uh, Folks, is the program from the Print News. And you heard it, all of the trending stories. Yesterday, some folks from the United Nations Peace Building visited the former president of Liberia. And the president had one or two things to say to them about the current administration, the undermining of the rule of law, eroding democracy, and other things were put forth before them. That these are things that you know are detrimental to the growth of this country. So if Liberians, those of you who have eyes to see, those of you who have ears to hear, those of you who can be sitting down sometimes, you say, oh, the former president can talk. He this, he that. He needs to speak to some of these issues. I don't know how you want the former president, to speak, but I hope what he said yesterday to the peace building folks from the United Nations, I hope that will quench your thirst. All right, because I mean, he has spoken, and it's left with them now to reach out to the current administration, because he spoke about, undermining the rule of law, disrespecting the courts, the national, the executive, for that matter, interfering with other branches of government, to not carry on their constitutional mandate. So he spoke about it yesterday. He also spoke about police brutality and a lot of things, unfolding in our country. And we also listened to Bishop Cotto Brown. Bishop Cotto Brown wants to know, he wants the president to make clarity on the statement he made, that when you are going somewhere and dogs are barking at you, you don't stop to throw stone at every dog, because if you do that, you know, you're not going to reach your destination. So our friend Aliyo is saying that Cotto Brown needs to go on the social media. I don't know whether he's a social media person, but Cotto Brown, as some of the backing with doing so. So I'm quite sure we are the ones the president are referring to as dogs. But whatever the case is, we who are Christians, the Bible says evil can't pay back evil. Those kind of loose talks that we're not used to in, telling your friend human being they are dogs and stuff like that, and but so far so good. That's the issue. The bishop wants to know. He wants the president to make that clarity. Who are the dogs? Mr. President, if you are listening, who are the dogs? The bishop wants to know. All right. Uh, let's get to the comments first. Let's read out the
But Mr.
comments.
Mr. Nimle, you see, this thing happen when the government has lost track, when they are failing. That's where you see they become so cheeky, arrogant, and always using those kind of loose words. And like I said, when you go reach somewhere when doors are barking at you, if you say you will choose to at this door, you will not reach your destination. And now his surrogate, they are not listening to him because he look at his critics, he referred to them as though, and even those who supported him today, they are disenchanted, they are not happy of his leadership, the way he governing everyone, because when you criticize him, you part of those dogs. So why when the former president speak, instead of his official concentrating on what they're supposed to do, they are jumping here and there waiting. During Madam Senator, all the laws were causing, she never had time for us. She know what she was elected to do, she was focused. Doing we are the same thing. Opposition, you're protesting, you're going or you're coming down. You know why you were elected for, he was focused. Why those people who claim to be responsible, they are not focused? The moment you speak, they lose track. They all around. The way they come into hard press briefing, everything will be on we are today. Instead of telling Liberian people the progress made by the government, that we are statement that they coming to hold today. You see?
Thank you.
It
Thank
is
you,
so,
the
it is
elder.
so sad. I don't really know what's happening to those people. This is why they continue to fail because every small thing they are shake, they lose they lose track. They just here and there. People have been to Fatima, my sister-in-law. You of all person coming to pull more on we are.
Okay, Aliyu, let's get to the comments first. Alexa Morba, she says, "Good morning, guys. I'm watching from Broville. We have Gate Harris Gate. He says, I'm watching live from my Visha Media Incorporated office in Dole Community. Hezekiah Dodo says, Good morning, Freedom FM. I'm following closely from District 17. Stanley Sharif says, Good morning to the peaceful citizen of Bohe Town, Pokwa District, Grand Kipma County, Western Liberia. I'm watching you from Broville City. Thank you for the update. And we also have Vinicius Junior Bar. He says, I'm watching from Newcretown. Where is coming back 2029. Jiba Kamara says, I'm watching live from Brooklyn Center in Minnesota. Okay. We also have James John Kekula Somo. He says, I'm watching from Jamestown, North Dakota, USA. We have here Charles Dolopabu says, I'm watching you from my Soul Clinic belt and a regular listener to the station. Dolopa Piosem. All right. Henry Tito Jr. says, good morning, Freedom FM and Radio LIB crew of Staten Island, New York City. With our weather report man, Uncle Tunis. I'm following you from my residence in Caldwell. Thanks for the update. Ezekiel Johnson says, good morning, my folks. I'm watching you from Kakata City, Magibi County. Stella Sharif again says, we are carefully awaiting the so-called Deputy Minister of Information to use the Liberian people money today and insult our political leader, King George. We will respond in equal mind, and trust me. Henry Tito says, my weather report man, where are you? We don't hear from you yesterday. Stanley Sharif says, let me say this to all dogs that are barking after President Weah. Speak to his supporters. Mr. Weah wouldn't respond to all types of dogs. We are the supporters of him. Will surely respond to all KK dogs anytime when they start to bark. Musa Justice Seko says, good morning, Freedom Family. I'm watching you from my residence in New Georgia Gulf. Ambassador Walton Bushel Morgan Jr. says, I'm following you from Johnsonville, resident vice chair for welfare CDC regular intellectual militant. Clarence Ogbechi Dwe says, good morning, Wendell and Esther. Thank God for another day. I'm watching this morning from Mandela Cooper Sugar Daddy District. All the political pastors, prophets, and prophetess who said there could be a bloodbath in Liberia if George Weah have won the 2023 election. You guys are the ones Joseph Boakai is referring to as dogs. Stanley Bozo says a very pleasant greetings to the peace-loving citizens of Mama Liberia, watching live from my residence in Congress City. Wayne and Esther and Gus, Bishop Brown is right. Let Deacon Boaka tell the Liberian people who are the barking dogs. Is it the rescue hustlers who walk in the purple water? Abraham and Addison says, good morning. I'm watching you live from my comfortable residence somewhere in North America. All right, Abraham. Kingston, Jesse Willis says, good morning. Following you from Plunker, Broadville City. All right. Abraham and Addison says, yeah, congratulations. Estelle MG Place says, good morning. I'm watching you from Barnesville Junction. Marcus Gita says, good morning, Freedom FM 87.9 TV. I'm watching you from Mr. Gapu Gita resident in Congo Town. Alex Meyer says, good luck. Barpen Paul Lee says, good morning, Freedom Family. Watching you from Johnsonville. Daniel Saki says, good morning, big brother. Fitz Kelvin Barpen says, good afternoon, Freedom Family. I'm watching you from Nima United. This person, you don't have a name, so we're not going to, read your comment, all right, because your comment is not worth reading. Brabby and Boss says, good morning, following you live from Bourgeois Island. Obviously, the dogs are known because during his speech, the president said they are not here. We are not okay. It says continuation. It says we are the ones here. Matthew Cholo places Daniel Sando, who had looked like empty continue. He should be ashamed and disappointed in Waka for calling Liberian dogs. God is not making new George Weah. All right. So Brabi and Bar against says the guys in the diaspora were the ones he was referring to as dogs. Interestingly, they were the ones that supported him financially. Sweet for them. All right, so far so good. Those are all the comments. Let's get to the phone lines and take your calls. Those of you who are listening, you can call us now. The numbers to call are 0776 104 104 086 500 104. Call us and then make your contribution here on the show. Edred Thomas, I'm told you are following from District 17 around the Lone Star Tower. Thanks for following. All right, so we are here. Let's now hear from our Liberian people. Call us and make your contribution. Let's take you as our first caller. Good afternoon.
Good morning, Lorena.
Hey, Patience, welcome to the show. How are you, Mom?
President confirmed like for justice.
Okay.
I really want to ask people. I'm very happy when the people come for us and they go, why we go to the former president first before we need to the present president?
That's
that Baka check itself, Mr. Nimen. I told most of the country Baka first before they go to the former president, but they go, oh, we can't do the former president first. What happened to them? I'm very happy there. And today, when you go down there, you stop president, and Baka will see the way out and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Patience. Let's talk to you, this person. Good afternoon. Okay, I think you, the lady I was sitting next to, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm fine. The family, all right. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's. Yeah, go ahead, Mama.
Joseph Waga and his people, they will worry every day, my brother. Every day they will worry. Because the moment president we are saying, the whole social media will take it, they will be worried. So then that cabinet meeting they're going for, and no cabinet meeting or prayer briefing. They will not tell us nothing how the country going, where the prayer bottom story, they will not talk about anything. How people suffering. Yeah, they will not say one. They will not say they're going to say that, President we are saying, President we are saying, President we are saying. And they will worry about President we are saying, they will not do their work. At least when I was saying, yeah, well, we were making it. Coronavirus is 2 years, but still, President we are saying, I will not give up. Well, coronavirus, now I will do my way. You're really like people way. And today we can identify project things that we did and we enjoy it. So the government will not do nothing for all my brothers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to another person. Let's bring this caller in. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, Spencer Mohammed, and I come from down Coast Spoon Hill, big community in a concerned Nigeria for justice. We don't thank you.
Thank you, Spencer.
I'm hearing that the bishop is asking the president to interpret his statement.
Exactly.
Bishop Cotto Brown. I like your advocacy. Your advocacy is timely. Your advocacy is strong. But to me, Bishop, your advocacy is belated. Because they started upon the very instance of this government when President Weah was denied the usage of the executive laws. Where were you as Bishop who was critical of President Weah over the last 6 years? Bishop over the last 6 years. I remember
Thank you, Spencer. It's always good having you two on the show. Let's talk to this person. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, we lost that caller. Let me go to this other line. Let's talk to you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Wendy. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Tell us your name and where you joined the conversation from.
Oh, my name is Honorable Emmanuel Corey, and I stay well then calling you on a series of issues regarding the same woman, the marital issue.
Okay. I was following this morning about, you said Miracle to try to person you.
No, she poisoned me. I let it die. I wanted my phone. I got removed. I poisoned for getting number. I was traumatized because of your son. You already been solo man and your man who into the drug selling business. Your drug addict. They put the drug and the poison in the food. Give me. I think I was traumatized in the Latino district. I'm now the whole market here. The food like Jalo knows about that story. They beat me to name my current market. Beat me to remedy check. Took my phone, my money, my wallet, everything. And the kids coming to the court. That woman took me. They took my wallet. I have 7,000 one day. All my small item, my iPhone, my Samsung phone. They took it. The former police commander, I first took. They took all my item. My mother was standing there. They took it. Everything. They carry it. So each time I go to the film depot, report this kid in the border. If I was go, she refused it. Sharon and keep on. She resisted the rest. So currently, I got a court all up on that woman there. So I don't want to keep discussing. That woman discussing that woman when they need to tell the government to call that woman out of joint book. And last night, she heard some gang guy to come in my resident here. The gang guys were patrolling around my resident. People of the vicinity try to tell that guy to remove from my area. I don't want to get around him and be dead by the show when they are. So this is what I'm telling you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. We hope the police authorities will make some quick intervention.
Okay, no problem because it's going to everyone that you left for that.
Yeah.
We'll interfere.
Anytime. All right. Thank you so much. Let's talk to the female general, Masisi. All right, Masisi, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
How you doing, my baby? How you doing there?
How about small girl?
I'm a beautiful wife.
She all right.
Okay, let me say hi to my son, Masari. Tell Masari that I'm blessed with him. I'm blessed with him badly. I want blessed over block.
Don't vex before you get bozo.
Yeah, thank you. Let me say hi to all of them. I think boss is there also following the show from the diaspora. No, when they're when we say something here and you still serious to say it, don't hide your face behind the toilet or behind the bathroom. Come straight to the public. That's what I'm saying. And you can't say it's a bishop, you shouldn't be afraid. Let him show his face to the whole world. What he's saying, mean it. For asking Waka to cancel elaborate people that who you were calling dog. Now you go have the bathroom and say you asking, oh, let's make a clarity to who? To you or to the audience? Also, the bad people. No, you shouldn't have a face. When you want to say something as a bishop, you go call yourself bishop. Don't be behind the whole bishop. Don't be on a grand bishop. Be straight to the point and tell the men the truth that what you said it was wrong. The men know who they're calling dog. He know who they calling dog. And they still continue calling us dog. Then he ask him, who you must have far behind the whole story and say, oh, I'm calling the dog. I was talking to real dog. They were person we are come back and say who let it door and they asking we are what you must say dog. No. The way you call us dog the person who's speaking soprano. He said soprano, so don't question him too. Because he said dog and he won't believe. So when he say who let it door out, what they trying to commit? What they trying person we are commit that you want to question the ability that why you who you calling dog is let the door out. If you know you are a dog, then you don't want to keep out. So respond to him. So let him come on, Bishop Photo Brown, Photo Brown, Woodland Brown. Let him come on and bring a brown to us and tell us what Waka say. Let him show his face to us and ask Waka in the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Masisi. You, swear to God. They were more, I swear. Oh, God. Masisi. Hello.
Hello, Winya. How you doing?
Hey, Edmond, what's up, my man? How are you?
I'm great, though. Let me say hi to my brother Masari in the U.S. I remember the concerned Liberian for justice. Your Photo Brown, the people, they want to advocate, they want to do it to satisfy the government. That is how they are doing it. They don't want to kind of clear. Yesterday, when they were putting all of the press releases out, did they ask the government whether they should interpret? The speech interpret is sure. You say critical voices, but don't mind it. They are not here. What kind of interpretation you want? And say you guys say that parable, say you guys say that figure of speech in metaphoric, you guys you could have used better word, Mr. President, than to use this word to call your citizens door. It's not proper. We asking you to retract your letter. Listen to somebody calling on you to retract that. I just didn't forget it. That's what you should have been doing. But yeah, you want make us happy in opposition. When the guys are continually doing this thing, they will get a decision very soon. So I hear that defending all the people where you are playing a figure of speech. When you go in the village to go campaign, when you tell the woman say that was metaphoric, the woman will say, oh, you follow insulting me. All the time you will take to make the woman to understand that that was a figure of speech, that was a metaphor, that was this. It is late for you. They will not understand. What they know is that you call them with your along with doors. It's finished. You can't clear it. And kudos to President Weah. Like you take the other time when the ECOWAS Commission visited like this period on the same issue on his invitation when he completed the same government to ECOWAS. When ECOWAS Commission came after all of their visits, the two worker, one person win a president. All you need to do is reconcile the country before you move on with your development. Worker said no. I'm not doing our continue. That his man is getting mission in the United Nations Commission in Liberia. Because they were the ones that spent their money here. They were the ones that came to our rescue. People taxpayer money, they came here, they spent down here, making sure that our country is stable. And we turn the country over to the Unity Party government stable. So if he is stabilizing the country, I think it was just breathing on the back of my Donald president to put it before the relevant institution so that they will begin to know that Waka is dragging our country in it. And we will not stay there and allow it happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's the voice of Edmund Carr. Let's talk to you, this person. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Nina.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Tell me your need to now.
Yeah, this is Boyman Williams. I joined you from my customer shop this afternoon.
Hey, Boyman, what's up?
God money also.
I know, eh?
Yeah.
Let's hear you, Boyman. Go ahead. You have a minute to say what's on your mind.
Yeah, and let me say good afternoon to the folks in the U.S. You see, they just brought to us the Liberian people that the war, the so-called a war that the president used our taxpayer money to rapidly debt to go to the U.S. for, it was fake. That the president is not yet able, 3 years now, he's not able to reconcile this country. He's not able to put us together as people in this country. That's the reason why the president is saying people are not here, they are dogs, they are dead, or dog bagging at you, you do them all, they are not on the ground. This president forgetting to understand that when he won the election, the first group of people that he went to say thank you, even the Nimbadian that gave him the highest vote in this country, up to today's day, the president has not gone back there to even say thank you to the Nimbadian. But the president left and went to those, to those dogs in the U.S. because he only called them dogs. He went to those dogs to tell them thank you for supporting the election, for giving food whenever he went at the U.S., for giving even honor care or attention. But today, because he's president now, all of those guys that helped him in the struggle, now he's calling them dogs. That's the way this old man can pay people back whenever you're doing good. That's the same thing you always do at the poor person. And I like the way poor person put the content. There are people, sometimes people can push you to say things or do things what you're supposed to do. And for the president, I will always put a video of President Weah. If today it was President Weah that was sick, the old man will say he died free. They look the poor president wife on the road. That was taken of recent, under the Nepalese regime. That woman is sick until she passed off. So if it was President Weah that was today, the woman will sit there and watch President Weah die. But President Weah said that because of we all were Liberian and he had a love for country and a love for people and the heart of God.
Okay.
He said, no, let me reach out to the woman. So President Weah, I'm going to be for the woman to call us in the country. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Let's talk to this person. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Minman.
Yeah, go ahead, Hussein. You have a minute. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Thank you, people. Good afternoon to the panelists. Yeah, I called for Caldwell this afternoon for the lot of Kelly's compound.
Where is the Kewo compound in Caldwell?
The Fulani community.
The Fula community, Kewo get compound in Fula people community?
Yes, we have a compound there.
You a Fula man?
No, we were first to establish there, so our Fulani production was later the family here.
Oh, so why you ain't call the community, Kewo community, you're with it until the Fula people move there and say Fula community?
No, we have a lot of towns in Cape Mount that are named after the Kewu, so
My man told me. We talking about car where you can't get me where came out. What do you know in came out?
but I'm a prospective senator and I
Oh, I wish you good luck. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Bureau. Let me say thanks to all of the panel, brilliant analysis. So, like I was saying this morning, one of the sister show, whenever someone speaks and make a remark, they have an intent. And the person who speaks know the intent of what he or she says. So I'm not going to judge former President Weah with the comments he made in regards to what he said. But I know you have an intent. So if somebody is saying, the president referring to like people that die from a man saying they are dogs. So, like the preacher said, there are clarity that need to be made, and I will support the clarity being made. Because the speaker is the best interpreter.
So, okay, Hussein.
Yes.
So, if I may ask you, right, who do you think the president was referring to as barking dogs?
So, like I said, the speaker, for my own interpretation of understanding of what he said, you guys in the media, a whole lot of media practitioners who criticize PTK recommends to government. And those ones that I said after right. And I tell somebody that don't believe it. Stanton Waterspoon is one of those persons who the president was directly referring to.
So if you are critical, it means that you are a dog in your own word.
No, not being critical. You people are critical over the period. Have the Ministry of Information invited you ever, or telecommunication invited you as media stakeholders, to get an inquiry or comment made on the radio? Never sent the president to over. You are a witness to that. People will have to be honest, right? Ministry of Information have not denied you permit. Ministry of Information, I call telecommunication, has not even asked you for your comments and critique of the government. But you have somebody in the diaspora who is always making reckless comment on the radio, right? Not even referring to the government alone, but opposition.
When did you get to know? When did you get to know that this person had been making reckless comment against the government? When this is the very person that brought you to power?
Yes, so he supported United Party company. So it doesn't mean
they see you can call about man. What was causing yesterday all over the place? You were clapping for him, beating your chest for him. The player today, you say Buku man.
So we are all guilty of Yeke's actions and inactions.
Thank you. I like the way you put it. Thank you. Let's leave it right there. I like the way you put it. We are all guilty of Yeke, comments. But let's take you as our last caller, then we close up. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Welcome to the show. Your name and where you join us from?
Anyway, my name is Prince Noah. I'm calling from Rainbow Community Consensus from Johnson.
Okay.
My brother. But why is on my mind is when Kosovan get to know that, or when you get to know that, or Joseph Nimabora is calling the Labrenco door. When you get to call it Labrenco door, when you get to know. So if you want to know, then go to Joseph Bora and say, who are you calling door? So thank you very much.
Thank you. And folks, we're not taking any more calls. We are about to leave you, but I have this information. My cousin left his, he told me that he bought a taxi cab from Broad Street yesterday to ELWA Rehab. And he mistakenly left his RD card and driver license bearing the name of Stephen T.M. Tapler. Position on the RD card, Inspector, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministerial Complex, Congo Town. So anyone coming across a missing RD card and the driver license bearing the name Stephen T.M. Tapler, please contact Freedom FM. All right. Just contact Freedom FM, come and ask for window, and you can drop it off to you, the taxi driver, or anybody that came across this missing ID card and driver license, bearing the name Stephen T. M. Tapla, Inspector, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministerial Complex, Congo Town. Please, the person boarded the cab from Broad Street to ELWA Rehab. All right, folks, we got to go. Let's hear from Aliyu. Aliyu, let's get your pattern comment.
Thank you, Mr. Limland. Thanks to the callers. Husi Kiaru just said something excuse me, that we all been talking. You see, so the president is referring to diaspora Liberians as dogs because they are critical on his administration. But yesterday, this scene starts on Waterspoon was the one I was feeding Joseph Boakai, taking care of him. They used his radio station as their propaganda station to go against the Wiale administration. Yesterday, he didn't refer to them, oh, you guys are dogs, you shouldn't talk about Liberian politics while there's going on, you guys are not part of us. So it's like this government that came to rescue, they clean no green, no pink, no blue Liberia. But it's like doing today
Your line is bad. You're closing on a bad note. Ali, we will have to leave you there. Your reception is very terrible, so we will have to discontinue with you. But Farisin Wanya says, "Good morning, Freedom Family. I'm watching you. I'm watching the show from Boston, Massachusetts." Fit Kevin Boppin says, "GMB will see the rear doors comes 2029." Bendo Davis says, "Good afternoon, my Freedom Family. Okay, my name is William Sangbe Jr. Join you from this Clay District, Bowman County. I'm probably using this person phone to text." And we have David Williams says, "I'm watching you from Colorado, USA. So far, so good." That's all the time we've got to be with you. The team will be here tomorrow to bring you the midweek presentation. Until then, play safe and keep the peace. We out.